Hey Katie, it's Johnny from Salesforce.
Hey Jonny, good to see you again.
You too, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks for asking.
Good.
How was the rest of your game day experience?
Oh, it was so fun. I always love being back in Athens and here with my family and friends, so it was such a fun time.
Of course, tailgating, and then of course watching the dogs pull it a win. Can't really go wrong with a Saturday with that one,
Oh, no, for sure. It was so fun.
For sure. Well, I know you have my phone number, but I wanted to give you my card here.
Oh.
This has my email, and if you have any questions or concerns at all,
Okay, great.
feel free to just reach out to me.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah, and I know your time is limited, so before we get started, is there anyone else you think should be in on this meeting today?
No, for today it's just going to be me, but I will definitely pass along the information from today to some other people that are going to be involved in the decision making.
Oh, great. So I've talked to some of your colleagues, and I've done some research on my own that have led me to formulate some questions about Yeti and what Salesforce could possibly provide for your company. Is it okay if I start asking some questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, my first question I have for you, Katie, is Yeti is definitely a growing company, as we've seen over the past few years.
Yep.
And I know that Yeti's one of the core values is growth
Mm-hmm.
and making itself stand out from the competition. So what are some goals Yeti currently wants to implement?
One of our main goals right now is a mobile-enabled solution. That's something that's causing some issues for us right now. And then also we want to streamline communication across all channels. We think this would really cut down expenses for us. So those are two main things that we're looking at right now.
Very exciting, very exciting. So how much do you think this mobile-enabled solution will cost to implement?
Well, we've already invested about $100K.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we are looking to invest another $10K in the upcoming year. And hopefully we're getting that solution up and running by the first quarter of 2019, ideally.
Completely understandable. That's very interesting. So I know that Yeti currently uses Epicor as a CRM provider. How long has Yeti been doing business with Epicor?
I think that we've been with them since 2011.
2011. All right. That's 7 years of business right there. So why the recent desire to look for other CRM providers?
Well, we've experienced some minor difficulties with them, which have kind of led to other problems for us. So we are just kind of in the market to see what other solutions can offer us. We just want to see what else is out there.
Okay, I completely understand. So bring up some issues. Could you elaborate for me on a particular issue in mind that sticks out to you?
Yeah, I talked a little bit about communication earlier, and one thing that's giving us some trouble is our interdepartment collaboration. We don't really have a uniform database to share information, share ideas. All of it is kind of spread out over different platforms. And with the growing sales team, that means more employees, more clients, more information that is making it harder and harder for us as we continue to grow as a company. So that communication through our channels has been increasingly difficult with our different departments.
Completely understand that. So these communication issues, what has this done for the growth of the company?
I think it has really held us back a little bit. We definitely have had accounts lost, which is losing us revenue, and it's kind of tarnishing the Yeti name a little bit, for sure, because we want to be able to satisfy our clients to their best interest.
For sure. And you brought up you lost some accounts. How many accounts have you lost in the last quarter, just off the top of your head?
I think it was about 30, which is more than we would have liked, for sure.
I completely understand that. So how much revenue does a typical account bring in, do you think?
Well, we have a lot of different sized accounts, but I guess if I were to average it out a little bit, it would be close to $600.
$600.
Yeah.
And so I see. So if you do the math on that, that's $600 per account times 30 accounts lost. That's $18,000 of lost revenue right there in a single quarter, and that's translates to $72,000 per year.
Yeah, wow. When you lay it out like that, you can see it.
So what else could Yeti have done with that $18,000? You think?
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, we're looking to invest $10,000 more in our mobile solution. So that $18,000 could have gone straight towards that, and we could have maybe already had that in place, which would have been nice. But we were still having a good quarter, so I'm hopeful that it's still looking good for us this quarter.
Understandable. And I know that Epicor also uses a manual tracking system. How satisfied are you with this manual tracking system?
Well, the manual tracking system is extremely outdated. It's really slowing us down internally. I think that it's making it really hard to track shipped goods. It's hard for us to keep our clients informed on the processing of their orders because they want to know that information, but when we don't have it on a uniform base, it's really hard to relay that to them.
For sure. So what about you mentioned that it's outdated and difficult to use, and
Yeah.
what has this caused any further problems with your company? You'd say?
Oh, for sure. I think it really makes it more challenging for our sales team. It kind of starts there. They're out with their clients, and they might not be able to have their computer with them, so they're writing it manually on a piece of paper, and then they're re-inputting that into our system, which is taking up a lot of time. And there's often things that are lost in translation that get left out. Some orders have been lost, stuff like that. So that's just causing a lot of issues for us as well. And our client information isn't stored at one single point, so it's really hard to view contributing to that those interdepartmental issues that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I see. So you mentioned that the sales teams are wasting a lot of time in entering orders and having to put it back in the system once they're back in the office. How much time do you think each sales team member devotes per week to the current system?
I would say almost about an hour a week of sitting at a computer and inputting the data, or an hour a day.
Yeah.
And then that translates into 5 hours a week per employee. So it's a lot of time that they're just sitting at their desk inputting that information that could have already been inputted while they were on the job if we had that system that I'm talking about.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. There's currently about 350 employees at Yeti.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. And how many of them are on the sales team?
We have about 100 on the sales team right now.
Okay. So if you do the math, that's about 500 hours per week alone.
Yeah.
The sales team is devoting just to entering orders.
Yeah, it is a lot.
What else do you think the sales team could do with this 500 hours?
Yeah, well, I would like to see our sales team collaborating a little bit more with each other, generating more leads. If they're spending that time at the computer, they're not out in the field securing sales with clients, generating revenue for Yeti. So it's just a lot of lost time. That's really just invaluable.
For sure. And, you mentioned that you want to have that mobile app up and running by the first quarter of 2019.
Yeah.
Do you think if they had 500 hours per week, do you think that could even happen sooner, you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, if we are using our time better, it's really going to help grow our company.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And, you mentioned a couple of times that the communication with your current system is not what you would like it to be.
Exactly.
And this is causing problems with the sales department. Do you think this has caused problems in other departments as well?
Oh, for sure. I mean, when that data isn't there for our different departments to see, people are getting extremely frustrated, and when they're spending time searching, they're, it's often like blamed on other people or other departments when it's really just the fault of our system. We need a better system is the bottom line. So yeah, that's definitely causing a lot of tensions between workers, and that's just inhibiting us from reaching our goals. We want to work as a team, and it's just really holding us back in that area.
For sure.
Yep.
So you bring up this tension amongst employees. What do you think this is doing for the growth and the innovation of the company if they're not able to work together as a team?
I really think that it is just setting us back on a lot of our projects. It's just taking time away from focusing on clients, focusing on bettering our skills and our growth towards our goals. So I think that this mobile-enabled solution can solve a ton of our issues and save us a lot of time. And I just am really seeing our extreme need for a better system. The more we talk and we lay it all out, you're seeing the money and the time lost. And it adds up to be a lot, for sure.
For sure. And Katie, I think there's definitely some internal and external problems Yeti is currently facing with their current CRM provider. And I think Salesforce has solutions that can help your company. Do you mind if I give you a demo of what our company does? Awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Just sit over there.
Okay.
Let me just pull it up really fast.
Okay.
Yeah, so here, look at this feature right here. So you mentioned earlier that Yeti is growing and
Yes.
adding new clients on a daily basis. So if you look at this feature, you can see that
Right up here? Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I see how it's all laid out right there. Yeah.
And within the first 18 months of implementation, similar client experience does is that sales reps are able to bring in 24% more revenue and are 34% more efficient, which translates into about 2,400% more revenue for your company since you have 100 people on your team.
Yeah, that's great.
What do you think
That's
Yeti
awesome.
could do with all that extra revenue?
I think that can really allow us to be more responsive to our customers. We're not spending that money on wasting time, paying our customers for time that they're wasting. So, I think it will help us spend that money with our clients and better suiting their wants, their needs, for sure. And looking at it now, it looks so easy. That's really great. But I did have one question. Is there a mobile feature that goes along with the online feature?
Yeah, it's great you asked that because I know you brought up earlier that the mobile feature is something very important to you, and Yeti is currently even implementing a mobile solution.
Exactly.
So let me just put it up on my phone really fast.
Okay.
And you can just take a look at it.
Okay.
Peruse around it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of Yeti's clients are outdoor enthusiasts.
Exactly.
They're in far reach places probably, and the sales team would have this just on their mobile device to enter in new leads, new accounts. I think this could do a lot for your company.
Yeah, this is great. I love this. It's very easy to use, and this has all the features that the desktop has as well.
Yes, ma'am. Everything you're seeing up here it can be found on the app.
Okay, that is awesome. I love that. That will really just help us to enter our orders digitally directly from our sales reps, which would be so nice.
For sure.
All the time.
And another thing you mentioned earlier was that you've had an issue collaborating within your departments, then across all your other departments.
Exactly.
So if you want to take a look at this tool here, our product streamlines your business process. It's easier to email across departments, email each employee, and have a calendar pulled up so when they don't get confused on when the meetings are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely streamline the communication.
Yeah. Well, what do you think this effective communication system would do for Yeti?
At the end of the day, we're a team as a firm. Yeti is a team, and we're growing together and we're learning together. So, I think that we really need that better communication, and this can really give it to us. And I'm really eager to ease those tensions between our employees.
For sure.
So I think that would definitely affect our output in the long run, for sure, if we could get this up and running.
For sure. And something else you mentioned earlier that we talked about was how the sales team is spending 500 hours per week just entering orders. And
exactly.
So, look at this feature here.
Okay.
If you want to take a look at that.
Okay.
Yeah. You see how simple it is to just enter an order?
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. And in fact, similar client experience tells us that Salesforce order generation and processing saved 18 hours per week on inside orders and 30 hours per week in outside sales. So, I know time's very valuable for your company. And so what could Yeti do with all that extra time, you think?
Well, we can definitely brainstorm ideas, like I said, spend more time working with our clients, being out in the field, generating those leads, all things that are going to generate us revenue. So, yeah, that would be awesome to have that time for other things.
For sure. And, Katie, it seems like we have a fit here. Why don't we set a time for next week to meet and discuss this option further?
Yeah, absolutely. But I did have some questions.
Okay.
Of course, I have to ask about the price. I just want to make sure I'm not spreading myself too thin. So if you could kind of lay that out for me.
Of course. So that's perfectly understandable. And Salesforce is a subscription-based month-to-month deal. It depends on how many licenses you purchase as a company, but we can tailor it completely to your needs. And I've worked with companies of your size before and with similar revenues that they bring in. And my suggestion that usually I see works best is if they do the $150 per month per employee deal, which translates out to 3 to 50 employees, $52,500 per month.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems a little steep, but I am getting a lot with it. So.
And like we mentioned, if the sales team alone can bring in 2,400% more revenue for your company, that's incredible growth.
Yeah, that is very true.
For sure.
We are spending a lot of money with those issues, those problem areas that we have right now. So I can definitely understand that for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I had one more question. With Epicor, we kind of feel like we're a small fish in a big pond. We don't have a really great relationship with them. We don't see them all that often. And I was just kind of wondering what the relationship is with Salesforce and your clients. How does that work?
Of course, I completely understand that hesitation. That's a very valid concern.
Yeah.
And Salesforce is a large company. To be completely honest with you, it is large. We have 47% market share, so it's a big company. But we provide services not to just large businesses, but also small businesses too.
Okay.
And in fact, after this meeting's over, I can send some information your way that has what's a contact for clients from small businesses, and I know they'd be more than happy to talk about their experience working with us.
Yeah, great. I would love that.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then my last observation is, obviously I'm tech savvy. I'm the IT guy, but some of my employees are not as savvy as I am, and I'm a little worried about them using this database. Is there going to be a training system, kind of a way for them to learn in and out, or something like that?
Yeah, completely understand. And like you said, we're both kind of tech savvy. This just makes more sense to us, but to other employees, this may be like learning a new language. So,
exactly.
Salesforce does have implementation teams that can come in and train your employees on how to use the software, and it'll just be a one-time cost.
Okay, that would be great. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any more questions for me today?
No, that's it. Thank you so much for answering those. It kind of helps me get a little bit of a better feel for Salesforce.
Of course.
But I would like to meet up maybe next week.
Okay.
Like you said, I want to bring in some other people to kind of hear a little bit more about Salesforce. Bring my CIO with me. So would maybe Friday lunch work well for you?
Sounds great. Does 1 p.m. work?
Yeah, I think 1 p.m. is great.
Awesome. I'll send a follow-up with all the information.
Okay, great.
Time and location. Awesome.
Thank
Katie,
you so much.
Yeah, Katie, thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thanks, you too.
I'm looking forward to next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a good one.
You too.